Welcome back to another Premier League prediction show. We're now up to game week 17, and last week, Nathan, you did ever so well. You came third top scorer with 9 points and just a one perfect score, and two players came away with 10.5 points. That was Harvey's Carrot Cake and Pero 1020. Pero 1020 came away with 3 perfect scores. But Nathan, we're about to enter a chaotic festive period with lots of football coming up in the next couple of weeks. But we'll crack on now with game week 17.
Starting off 12:30, never back the early kickoff. Villa against Man City on TNT. Now Man City getting Amad Diallo'd right at the end of that Manchester derby, didn't they? And then Aston Villa, as expected in my eyes, well, I did put a 2-1 to Forest. They did lose, but they did put out an alright account of themselves. But yeah, both teams really need to be getting points on the board, in particular Manchester City. However, I'm going to go wild. A lot of people are going to be back in Man City for this one at the early kickoff. I'm not. I'm going the other way, 1-0.
Yeah, difficult one to predict, especially with Manchester City's form. Is it some like 1 win in 10 or 11 matches now? Pep's head is really getting cut up, isn't it? A bit of self-harm there. Don't do that, kids, by the way. Villa's form's been indifferent, currently in 7th position. We both went for Nottingham Forest last week. This third week, though, Man City, they've got to start performing. They're currently in 5th position, 2 places above Villa. And I think it's going to end up all square. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. They're really missing Rodri, aren't they? And the form of Foden and De Bruyne isn't great at the moment. But we move on to the first of the 3 o'clock kickoffs, where we've got Brentford coming up against Nottingham Forest. Brentford last time out, losing 2-1 against fellow London rivals Chelsea. I think they were 2-0 down in that fixture. Brought it back to 2-1. And away from home, they're not great. At home, they're very, very good. But Nottingham Forest, currently in 4th position, in the Champions League position. 3 wins in their last 4 matches. An excellent win against Aston Villa last time out, which was a follow-up to their brilliant win at Old Trafford, where they won 3-2. So I think Nottingham Forest will concede, especially against this Brentford side who are free scoring at home. However, I think this is going to end up all square as well. Plenty of goals. Desmond's 2-2.
Yeah, really, I should be backing a Forest win here with their form, but with the way they're playing in West London, I can't not back Brentford at the moment. Like Superbru, fantastic, etc., etc. So yeah, 1-1. Moving on next, I've got Ipswich against Newcastle. Ipswich getting another wave victory last time around to a shocking Wolverhampton side. We'll get onto them very shortly. And then Newcastle absolutely dispatching Leicester 4-0 as well. We hate these stairs, we hate these stairs, we hate these stairs. What a clip that was. But going to go for another Newcastle win. Unfortunately, Ipswich at home, I just can't back them, and I was impressed by Newcastle, so 2-0.
Yeah, Liam Delap will be missing for Ipswich, so they'll be missing that big presence up front, which could put the wheels up, you could say, Newcastle's rear guard, but I don't think that they've got enough firepower, Ipswich, to cause Newcastle too many problems. But in front of that crowd at Portman Road, I think they'll give Newcastle a tough time. However, Newcastle will be full of confidence after that win on the weekend, and they are in Carabao Cup action where they're 1-0 up against Brentford. So I'm going to go for a Newcastle victory in this one. They'll just edge it 2-1. Next up, go back to London where we've got West Ham coming up against Brighton. Now this is a real difficult one to predict. Either team could win this one. It could finish all square. Brighton's form away from home hasn't been brilliant this season, and they haven't actually won in their last 4 fixtures either. It was a defeat last weekend against Crystal Palace at home, which was a surprising result, although Palace has kind of turned in a bit of a corner themselves. West Ham, topsy-turvy form. Draw against Bournemouth last week, which was, you could say, is a positive result for them. In this one, I think it's going to end up all square again. I'm going to go for Hammers 1, Seagulls 1.
Interesting, yeah. Brighton absolutely getting slapped by Crystal Palace, which no one saw coming, to be honest. And West Ham, for me, they're just the epitome of inconsistent. So where do I go with it? It's going to be a smash and grab. I'm going to go 1-0 Brighton, I think. Anyway, moving on, 5:30 on Sky. Palace against Arsenal. Palace, as you said, turning a corner. So it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. I believe they're actually playing Arsenal at the moment and are winning at the Emirates.
So they've got a very strong team out of Crystal Palace.
They do, probably compared to Arsenal. So I think they're going to get their revenge. So I reckon both teams will score, but 2-1 to the Gunners.
Yeah, Palace's form cannot be sniffed at the moment. Undefeated in the league in their last 5.
Yeah, we see in the Glasner last season.
Yeah, we say they're up this evening as well. However, they're playing an Arsenal team currently in 3rd position, who, although they've drawn their last 2 matches and undefeated, just the 2 defeats this season, Arsenal really need to get back to winning ways, especially as they drew a blank against Everton on the weekend. I think they will. They need to pull something out because they're 6 points behind Liverpool. Liverpool have got a game in hand on Arsenal. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 away victory to Arsenal. I don't think Saka or Odegaard have started this evening. Moving on to the Sunday fixtures, we've got Everton coming up against Chelsea. And talking of Everton, it was an excellent draw for them away against Arsenal. That's fantastic defensive display, a Sean Dyche masterclass, you could say. Exactly. Last time these two teams met, I think it was at Stamford Bridge, and Chelsea won 6-0 with Cole Palmer getting 4 goals in that fixture. So I think Chelsea will take all 3 points in this one. They're in fantastic form in the league. 5 wins on the bounce. Top scorers in the league as well with 37 goals to boot, but their defence can let them down at times. So I think they will concede, especially at Goodison Park, but I think they'll come through with this one. I'm going to go for a 2-1 away victory to Chelsea.
Yeah, Chelsea are going to concede in this one, but at the end of the day, you can't not bet against Chelsea at the moment. Yeah, they're the most informed side in the league. No one looks like they're going to beat them at the moment. So yeah, let's go 3-1. Moving on to the other 2 o'clock. Fulham against managerless Southampton. Probably the best decision that Southampton have made this season. Obviously making it way too late. Haven't brought in a new man yet, so I think they got like their first team coach or assistant in temporary charge. Fulham inconsistent, but yeah, they're going to walk all over Southampton 3-0.
Yeah, just a 1 defeat for Fulham in their last 6 matches. You've got to say though, that 2-2 draw against Liverpool last time out was excellent. They could have even won that fixture against Liverpool. And prior to that, it was a home draw against Arsenal. So 2 teams in the top 3 there. Nathan, Southampton, how I got it wrong last week. I was tipping Southampton to get a victory in that match against Spurs. However, Spurs absolutely, as you say, slapped them down with a 5-0 win. Cost Russell Martin his job as well, although probably a combination of the season where they've only won 1 match and they've only drawn 2 in those 16 as well. So in this one, Fulham at home, full of running, full of guile. I'm going to go for a 3-0 home win to Fulham. Next up, we've got Leicester City coming up against Wolves. Now, Wolves, another team to lose their manager, Gary O'Neill.
Another Portuguese manager as well, I believe.
Over the weekend, and what a fracas at the end of that match. Yeah. Al-Nouri, I think Al-Nouri will be missing after, I think he got a second yellow, didn't he, after the final whistle, pushed down the tunnel by, I think it's Dawson. And what was Cunha up to with pulling off the old glasses and spectacles of one of the trainers or physios or whatever it was from Ipswich. So naughty boy, can't be doing that sort of thing. So I think he's got till Thursday or Friday to respond to the charges against him there. So will he be available in this fixture? Leicester themselves currently in 17th position, but they do score a lot of goals. Although saying that, they blanked against Leicester, but Vardy at home should get at least a goal in this one. I'd say I'm gonna tip Leicester to take all 3 points in this one, and I'm gonna go for a 2-1 home victory to the Foxes.
Yeah, it's not gonna be a quick turnaround for Wolves, is it? At the end of the day, I know they got that bit of fresh life in there coming away from Gary O'Neill, but yeah, looking very toxic off the pitch, isn't it? And all I'll say to Wolves fans is, compared to what position we're in, you have very short memories, cough cough, League 1 in 2015. But aside from that, yeah, I'm going to back Leicester 2-0. Anyway, moving on, Manchester United up against Bournemouth. Now, Bournemouth in 6th position, looking fairly decent as well. 3 wins and a draw in their last 4. Manchester United nicking points off Manchester City. It was the Diallo derby, as a lot of people are calling it. At the end of the day, this is going to be a banana skin for Ruben Amorim, isn't it? Good on him, though, for the drop in likes of Rashford, which has been called upon for a while. He's not taking any messing, and also it was very weird he dropped Garnacho as well.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna go for a 1-1 actually.
1-1, yeah. I was thinking about that, Nathan, but maybe he's going to instill a bit more discipline in that squad. Sad to see with Rashford. I think Atletico Madrid have been sniffing around him. According to some press reports this afternoon. Well, we'll see, won't we? Maybe a new lease of life there, but we shall see. Man United, though, will be buoyed after coming back late in that fixture against Manchester City. So I'm going to go for another win to Manchester United. Amorim seems to be getting his feet under the table, making his presence felt. So I think they'll just sneak a 1-0 victory and gain all 3 points. And the final fixture of this weekend sees Tottenham Spurs taking on Liverpool, 4:30 live on Sky here in the UK. Liverpool, imperious form, however, drawing against Fulham at Anfield last week, and prior to that it was a 3-3 draw against Newcastle, just the one defeat in the league this season. Salah, as we said, even last week when he didn't score, he was providing assists, etc. Tottenham blew away Southampton, but prior to that, I wasn't really impressed with them. Currently in 10th position. I think there will be goals in this one. I think Spurs will score, but I think there's too many holes at the back for Liverpool to exploit, especially with Jota coming back in and scoring on his return as well. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 away victory to Liverpool.
I can't not back Liverpool here. At the end of the day, top of the league, they need to keep Chelsea off their tails, and finally, it's Spurs 1-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, and Andy Robertson's missing for this
He
as
is,
well.
yeah. Crazy red card that was.
Superb. So that's our predictions for game week 17. Make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website. See if you can climb up the table or leave your predictions as a comment as well. Why not do both? But Nathan, Cardiff City this weekend have got a stupendous, bit difficult fixture against Sheffield United as usual. Vlog?
There will be if you want to see us lose, so make sure to check that out. And on top of that, 2 managers gone. Who's next?
Well, it was the bottom 2 managers. Who's third from bottom? Ipswich? No, surely
They're
not.
not getting rid of McKenna, no.
No. And Leicester, no. Well, they've only just bought in Van Nistelrooy. Everton kind of turning things around. Sean Dyche. So maybe Locatelli, West Ham if they go on a bit of a downward spiral again, but maybe not this side of Christmas now.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any for a while, but I think the main 2 is only really if they dip any further in form, and that's either going to be a trio of Lopetegui, maybe Eddie Howe, if Newcastle get a bit panicky and drop off even more, but I think the 4-0 is going to keep his job, and then Postecoglou could be in a bit of trouble as well if he's not careful.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Thanks for joining me once again. Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas all around the world, because this is the final video before Christmas Day. Then we're on to Boxing Day fixtures as well. Thanks for joining us once again. We'll see you all in the next video. Merry Christmas.
Hey, I got something to say. I'm just so sick of hearing everyone complain. I know it's tough and I know there's pain, but hitting bottom is the only way to change. So I'll keep hustling, you keep struggling.